Someone looked you in the eye and told you your win wasn't a big deal. And part of you believed them. You just got the promotion, the raise, the acceptance letter. The acceptance letter, the thing you worked for months, maybe years, and you're excited. Your heart is full. You feel it, that rare, real feeling of actually earning something. So you share it with someone you trust, a friend, a sibling, a coworker, a parent, someone who's supposed to be in your corner. And instead of celebrating with you, they say, "Oh, that's cool, I guess. Well, a lot of people get that. Don't get too excited. It's not that serious." And just like that, the air leaves the room. You smile, you nod, you say, "Yeah, you're right," because that's what feels safe. But inside, something shifts. The win that felt real suddenly feels small. And you walk away wondering if you ever had a right to feel proud at all. But here's the truth. That person didn't accidentally do that. This happens more than you know. And the worst part, it usually comes from people who are supposed to love you the most, not strangers, not enemies, people in your inner circle. Think back. How many times have you shared something good, a goal, a win, a dream, and someone immediately found a way to shrink it? Other people have done more. You got lucky. It's not that impressive when you think about it. And it gets worse because after hearing it enough times, you stop sharing. You start hiding your wins. You downplay yourself before others can. You finish sentences with, "But it's nothing," really, even when it's everything. You learn to make yourself small so others would feel comfortable. Nobody talks about how deeply that rewires you. And it all starts with one painful question. Why would someone who cares about you want to make you feel less? Here's what's really happening. When someone minimizes your achievement, it almost never has anything to do with you. Let me say that again. It is not about you. When your win lands in someone's life who hasn't won in a while, it activates something deep inside them. Psychologists call it social comparison. The human brain is wired to constantly measure itself against others. It's not evil. It's survival. But in the modern world, it becomes toxic. When you succeed, the people around you unconsciously hold a mirror up to their own lives. And if they don't like what they see, they don't put down the mirror. They try to crack yours. Because if your achievement is small, their lack of one doesn't hurt as much. Do you understand what that means? When someone says, "That's not a big deal," what they're really saying is, "Please don't make me feel the distance between where you are and where I'm not." It's a defense mechanism, a protection system, a way for the ego to survive. But here's the truth. Nobody says out loud. The people who minimize you the most are the people who want what you have the most. Let that sit. It's not hate. It's not cruelty. It's envy wearing the mask of indifference. And here's what makes it so dangerous. They don't even know they're doing it. Most people who deflate your wins are completely unconscious of it. Their brain triggers a protective response, a dismissal, a rationalization, and it comes out as casual cruelty. "Oh, anyone could do that. You just got lucky. There are people doing way bigger things." And they walk away feeling fine because in their mind, they didn't attack you. They just kept it real. But you carry it. You replay it at 2 a.m. You second guess your own success. You shrink your voice in the next room, the next meeting, the next moment you should have stood tall. And that is the true damage, not what they said, but what you started to believe. And it gets worse. Because once that seed of doubt is planted, it doesn't just affect one win. It follows every win after it. You start pre-minimizing yourself. You stop announcing things. You lower your own ceiling quietly, secretly, because somewhere inside you, you're bracing for the deflation before it even comes. You learned their voice so well You started using it on yourself. Nobody talks about that. But here's what changes everything. Once you understand why people do this, you stop taking it personally. You can't, because it's not personal. It never was. When someone shrinks your win, they're telling you their story, not yours. They're telling you about the gap they feel, the stagnation they're living, the dreams they quietly gave up on, the mirror they can't face. And that's heavy, but it's not your weight to carry. So here's what you do. You stop sharing your wins with people who've shown you they can't hold them. Not out of anger, not out of revenge, out of wisdom. A lighthouse doesn't argue with the darkness. It just keeps shining. You learn to protect your energy, to curate who gets access to your joy, because not everyone deserves a front row seat to your life. But here's the truth. There's more. You also have to do the internal work. You have to go back and find every win you downplayed because someone told you to be smaller. The promotion you whispered about, the grade you shrugged off, the business you launched but never announced, the boundary you set but apologized for. Go back. Let yourself feel proud, fully, unapologetically. Because here's the thing about your achievements. They happened. Someone's discomfort doesn't undo them. Their silence doesn't erase them. Their dismissal doesn't shrink what you actually built. You did the work in the dark, through the doubt, through the failures nobody saw, through the mornings you wanted to quit and didn't. That belongs to you. No one gets to rewrite that. And here's one more thing. Pay attention to who celebrates your wins, even when it costs them something, because that is rare. That person who genuinely claps for you when they're still struggling, when they haven't gotten their break yet, when life hasn't been fair to them, that person has done the deep work. They've healed something in themselves that most people haven't. Treasure them. And if right now you're looking around and realizing there's nobody like that in your life, that's not a tragedy. That's information. It means it's time to rebuild your inner circle. It means it's time to find your people, the ones who are building too, the ones who celebrate wins because they know what it costs to earn one. But here's the truth. You might need to become that person first. You might need to sit with someone else's joy even when yours feels far away and find the generosity to celebrate them genuinely. Because what you give out shapes what you attract back. Nobody who diminishes others builds anything that lasts. But people who lift others, they always find themselves lifted too. The next time someone says that's not a big deal, remember this, they're not describing your achievement. They're describing their fear of being left behind, their fear of their own stagnation, their fear that your light reveals how dark their room has gotten. And you have a choice in that moment. You can shrink, or you can remember who you are. You can remember every late night, every rejection, every time you kept going when stopping made more sense. You can stand in your win fully, without apology, without shrinking, without waiting for permission from someone who hasn't done what you've done. Because here's the last truth I'll leave you with. You don't need a crowd to validate what's real. Your work was real. Your effort was real. Your growth is real. And no one's silence can make that any less true. Stay proud.